Hello and welcome to Core Finance. I'm Matt Brown. I'm joined by Shaun Richards from Not a Yes Man Economics, and we're going to talk about the GDP, UK GDP numbers. Out today, improved, better than expected, let's say, 0.4, supposed to come in at 0.3, so an improvement. I mean, what do you read into that, though?
Well,
I mean,
there's various factors at play here. We just start with the basic number, which is like the fact that it's a pleasant sunny day outside. It was a pleasant sunny number,
yes.
So 0.4%. Also, if we look into it, per capita, per person, whichever way you put that, 0.3. So as a sort of combination, no, I'm saying either of those are brilliant, but not too bad. My point there is looking at it per person, is that some of the argument is that the growth we've had is because there's more people in the UK. Which is not quite the same as people doing better. One of the reasons, if you look forwards on it, why we've had issues with real wages and why wages growth and that sort of thing's been so poor. So that as a set, not bad. If we look through it, the thing that caught some people out was services growth. We had some,
yes.
Largest part of the economy. Some were saying that we weren't going to, and therefore were predicting it would slow rather than speed up. There was good news from manufacturing.
Yes.
That grew by 1%, so that's a hopeful thing going forwards, and may well feed into the trade figures, because if you look at the trade figures we've had, not really shown any improvement. Yet various areas like manufacturing are telling us they're doing a lot better exporting wise. So the numbers are inconsistent there. If we flick through it for some odder points of detail, we see if we really drill into the services numbers. This is only to August, by the way, in terms of the thing, that there was a big boost for the film industry, which did in fact give the economy a boost, and I suppose if you look back to then. And there are some analogies here for whichever side of the Brexit debate you had. Dunkirk was the film that came out then. Seems to have given things a boost. So a little pattern of things that are good. If you look on the other side, and we see a construction industry that's in recession, I'm not sure who would have predicted that a year and a bit down the line from the EU leave vote, that was the area that would be hammered. But that's the way that it turns out. If we look back a little for some perspective, that means our growth's 1.5%, so about 1% below trend, 1.5%, so half what we did in the best phase. So overall, a solid set. Now we get to the problems though. Albeit at the things that I've just said, there's no way the numbers are that accurate. They only have 42% of the data, so there's an issue there. Also, there's a lot of issues around how you measure GDP. And even if you could measure it accurately, of what use is it? The reason why I'm raising this is in the modern era, a lot of questions have come around on the positive side. If we're getting the digital economy right, I think the answer to that is certainly no. And I'm sure that there is services activity that's underreported.
Yes.
The particular issue on GDP is it only measures monetary things. Well, some things in the past that were monetary, you can now get for free. For example, if someone just simply goes online now, you can get a lot of information that in the past you'd have to buy through a paid newspaper or paid thing of some format, whereas now you don't. There's other examples of that. On the other side of the numbers is the issue of inflation. This gets very little reporting because most of the sort of media emphasis is all the other way. But for example, the changes in the way the UK measures inflation, so dropping out the retail price index, putting in the consumer price index, has roughly changed GDP growth by 0.5% a year.
That's a big
I'll
number.
let viewers guess which way that is. And because there's been no establishment mention of that.
Yep.
And so there's a lot going on. So yes, good. But once you go through it, there are more and more questions as to what these numbers actually mean.
Fantastic. Well, Shaun, thank you very much. And it would be good to get viewers' comments, so please comment below on your take on the GDP numbers released today. Shaun, thank you for joining us.